I smoked because I was going through emotional trauma. I didn't want to think about what was going on at that moment. And I did it because I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Who introduced you to it?
My cousin did.
Apart from peer pressure, like you said, there's always the issue of imitation or trying to copy what some other people classify as role models are doing. A good example is, the world is now a small village. The effect of globalization cannot be overemphasized here. People tend to copy whatever they see on films, video of musical videos essentially, and people take it as the norm. I'll give you an example. When you see someone smoking Indian hemp in the video shoots of popular musicians, people now take it as, it's a sign of you're in the club, you're a part of the group. And these are the things that encourage people to go into drug abuse, because they want to copy what they have seen in some of these videos.
I didn't tell him anything. Actually, I wanted to take it because I felt, okay, this was a way, according to them, it would just make me forget what was going on at that moment and make me feel excited, and instead of feeling down. That was the reason why I took it. I just thought maybe it might help at the moment.
It's becoming so rampant. Gone are the days when the ratio was like 20 to 1 in favor of the guys. We find that the ratio is actually now approaching 1 to 1. Because girls now see themselves, some girls now classify themselves as tomboys. They want to do whatever the guy is doing, so that they also feel they are equals. And then, like I said, the issue of globalization is something that we tend to take it with a pinch of salt, but I think it's something that is gradually eating into the fabrics of our society. Everything that is seen in the Western world is seen as good, no matter the evil the complications or the aftermath. People don't think about that. So far it is being shown, it is accepted over there, it's also acceptable over here. So what do you find out? Our ladies are becoming more and more into drug use. The only problem is that, especially on the Indian hemp use, they might not be using the strengths that the guys are using, because these things come in strength. It depends on the Indian hemp plants. There's the leaf, there's the flower, there's the stem, and each one has its own purity. So depending on which part of the Indian hemp plant that you are using, it now determines how strong the drug is.
Did it help?
Yeah, at that moment it did. I wasn't thinking what was going on then. I was just feeling all excited at that moment. But then after that,
it went off, honey?
Yeah, I did.
That went off.
Is enormous. They said educate a man, you educate one person; educate a female, you're educating a nation. So you are looking at the generation of future mothers of the society. And look, if the society is already, the female is already compromised. What are we talking about? The lady will not be able to take care of herself, talk more of taking care of babies or children that are going to be under her. She will be a bad role model to the children. So the country is sort of in limbo if you are not careful here, because the person that is supposed to be a guardian angel for the children is already becoming a bad role model. So what do you expect?
So what kind of weed did you smoke that day?
Jesus Christ, how much was the guy weed? Is there they have categories of weed.
They have categories, different categories. Because I've heard when my friends are talking like Arizona, I don't fuck with that. Arizona
I
stuff.
don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, sorry.
Now, depending on the substance that is abused, the effect on the body can be enormous. I give you, the typical one we are referring to is Indian hemp. I mean, there's always the issue of addiction, there's the issue of people having mental illnesses because of smoking of all these substances. And the problem with mental illness, once mental illness sets in, there's hardly any cure. We're talking more of management. Because what takes the skin one day to do, once there's a lesion in the brain, it can take years. That's why treatment in anything mental or anything psychiatry is prolonged. Now, talking not only on the brain, even on the heart, on the liver, on the kidneys, all these substances have effects that can lead to pack up especially when the liver and kidney packs up. Essentially, the person is dead, because you are talking of not being able to filter poisons, not be able to take care of detoxification of dangerous substances you inhale into the body. And when those two organs pack up, all the toxins in the brain or in the body goes to the brain also goes dead, and the person finds himself in an early death.
So actually, you just confirmed that you smoked because it was an escape for you.
Yes.
From emotional trauma.
Yes. I don't condemn smoking. Like, I cannot criticize someone. Like, I don't do it. Okay, fine. I know smoking is not really nice because of the other damages it causes to the heart.
Yes,
but also my dad used to say weed. I'm not talking about smoking it, but weed itself is it's medicinal kind of. But no one is asking you to smoke. Right. They won't advise you to smoke it, but they actually said it's medicinal.
That is the issue. I mentioned earlier that people try to place especially known figures as their role models. You mentioned one song, Science Student. Everybody knows virtually. If you ask a 5-year-old kid, they are most likely to know the lyrics of the song. But you see, a 5-year-old might not be able to process what they're saying. But look at that message being passed on to a person who is a teenager. There's going to be a problem. Either he sees it as this guy is trying to promote, telling me to do this. It can also be, but majority of the time they tend to look as if he's trying to promote the use of substance. It's even led to a ban by the NBC of the song. But you see, it's NBC that will ban it for public broadcast. But it does not stop the song from being heard by other people. So people hear it, they hear it at bus stops, and they think it's the right thing to do. You talk of codeine now. You see, gone are the days when codeine was problem of the north. It's now become a pandemic issue in this country, because people, maybe because of the, how will I call it, not being able to get the more powerful opioids like heroin. So what do? They tend to a lesser opioid like codeine, and it has led to a scourge right now. People now walk into chemists, buy cough syrup with codeine and drink it as if they are drinking water. It's a big problem, and if we are not careful, the kind of opioid epidemic that is hitting the United States is just at our doorstep right now. There's also the issue of tramadol. Tramadol is not anyhow analgesic. It's a powerful analgesic that is opioid in nature, that is centrally active. We give for people with severe pain. But what do we have in our country right now? You have people hawking tramadol as if it's ordinary paracetamol. Not even pharmacists alone. You find all these ladies in Molwes selling tramadol, and they'll be marketing it with glee. And people will be buying it either ignorantly or because of the poverty. By the time you sell it to them, you take it today, you don't need to take it tomorrow. But people tend to now, these are drugs that should be written with prescriptions, not just anyhow drug. And what do we have? You go to any nook and cranny here, it's available.
Okay, the first time I took it, I ate it in food.
Okay, that's the first time you took weed.
Yes.
Okay, it's a different thing when you smoke it. So how was it the first time you smoked?
At first I thought I was going to run mad. I thought maybe I was going to lose my mind, but then I did it.
You didn't lose your mind?
Nope, I didn't.
Thank God for that.
I think I took it just 2 times or 3 times. I smoked just 2 times.
Oh.
The rest times I ate.
Would you want your younger
No.
ones to smoke?
No.
Okay, you didn't even let me finish.
No, I wouldn't advise my younger ones to smoke.
Personally speaking, it is not banning codeine that is the problem here. It is not banning codeine. There are some medications that codeine will be in. Look, codeine, if you have a dry cough that is irritating, those are the kind of things you will use. So if you ban it, so would that mean a person with dry cough will now just be coughing? No, that is not the issue. The issue has to do with more with regulations of how these things get in. We need to strengthen our institutions, NAFDAC, NDLEA, and the pharmacists and the doctors too. They need to stand up and also fight this cause together. Look, we know that cough syrups are supposed to be over-the-counter OTC medication, but look, because of this scourge, a pharmacist should not sell a drug that contains codeine without a doctor's prescription. I mean, both of us should work hand in hand here. Without a prescription, you can't sell some of this medication. It's no matter how much you are giving, and you'll be able to stand for what is right. It is not a matter of money. You don't know who is next. You might think you are making money. What if it's your relative that is falling victim? You can't be so sure. So we need to do the right thing as professionals. Because people have been talking about this legalization of marijuana. Look, there are marijuanas, there are different species of marijuana. That's the first thing I want people to know. Because when people talk about marijuana, the only one is Igbo, the one we are used over here. There's what we call medicinal marijuana. There are some species of the plant that could be medicinal. In fact, I've been shown by research to work from certain illnesses like retractable seizures. Some even work for anxiety. There are some medicinal. But the one we are talking about is cannabis sativa. That's the one that people know popularly as Igbo. You say people have to be careful. It's not just they've made it legal in America. Even in America, as advanced as America, you not find it is not all the states that have legalized it. Even though they say if you legalize it, it will reduce, make them, being accessible, be able to control the intake, all this and that. I'm a Nigerian, I'm not an American. And at least from my little experience in life, we tend to copy things wholeheartedly and then do it worse than the people we copied it from. And things don't work. What works over there, you bring it to Nigeria, might not necessarily work. So we need to be very, very careful. Left to me, I will still want marijuana to be banned. It should be on the banned list. I don't think we are advanced to the extent of saying we should start debating whether we should legalize it or not for now. Our system is not like that of America. We shouldn't be copying whatever they do. We must also do it. For female drug use, statistics in Nigeria, I'm sure you know by now, is very hard to come by. But I'm going to use our hospital as a typical example. Yes, you have more males coming in, like I said. Maybe because the males are more violent, they tend to take, like I told, there are different grades of Indian hemp use. So they might be taking the one that is more concentrated. So we see more of the males. But when you start seeing females, we tend to red flag them the more and keep more eyes on them because you hardly find females coming in. So when you see one, we tend to, it's like it's a red flag. It's a red flag and we don't take it lightly in our facility here. The ratio of females to ratio that still coming is in like 4-1 in favor of the males. But any female we see is a source of concern because females, they are very delicate people. What could lead the females to taking substance? There could be more social, psychological, social factors more than the males. Females, I'll give you a tell you, the last female I saw that was into substance use was because she was abused. She was raped, and in our society, she felt people were not going to listen to her, and the only succor she could have was start drowning her sorrow in alcohol initially. When alcohol refused to work, she started going into other things. So like I said, it's a big red flag when we see one, because females tend, I don't know, maybe because of their capacity to cause less violence, they don't tend to bring them to the facility that much. It's possible. Look, like I said, Nigeria is an evolving nation. We are not there yet. Stigma is still very pronounced in this part of the world, whether we like it or not. I'm sure you even coming here, if you tell anybody you've been to Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Yaba, people will look at you twice that, are you sure you are not receiving treatment? Because people attach, but what people don't know is that psychiatry goes beyond even drug use or these common mental illnesses. Anxiety disorders, who are you supposed to see is your psychiatrist? Sleep disorders, you go to a psychiatrist. But you see, the stigma is allowing people to stay away. And once people stay away, you start going to people who are not professionals. And there's always an issue. Now, because of the stigma, that's why most people tend to shy away from treatment. But you see, running away from treatment is not the way to go. It is to realize that, look, this person needs help, and you go to a place where all the professionals are, and help can be given to this person to get help on time. But there is another problem we have in Africa. We tend to spiritualize everything. You are seeing someone is behaving violently, or you feel he's mentally unstable. My enemies have found me out. Oh, it is that woman across the street that snapped her finger at me. We spiritualize everything. And instead of taking this person to the hospital on time for help, what do? We start shopping from one religious organization to the other. If the religion does not work, you go from church to herbalist to mosque. By the time you go round and round, by the time they eventually present to the hospital, you are talking more or less like a chronic person, because they've wasted so much time in bringing the person. But by and large, I think various forms of education is going on. I think there are more advocacy groups now that are bringing the issues more. And by the time they bring up the issues more, people tend to get to know more about these things. And then, it's a gradual thing. Before you erode stigma in Africa, it's going to take a long time. But I think we're on the way to reducing it.